Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2020. I am Atlas, joined by LS, and congratulations to T1 as they clinch second place with their head-to-head victory over DRX, considering the fact that they weren't able to get 2 points from today's match. APK coming back in game number 2 with a vengeance. Pentakill for Hybrid at the end there, but it was all about Secret in the laning phase, in these skirmishes, his flash flays. The way that he outplayed this DRX team was just beautiful to watch. And it feels like the day of the supports, and we'll see who's going to be number 1 as we get to game number 3.
Yep, we'll have to see who does get the player of the game, and also how APK managed to ride off this game number 2 win as we head into game 3 as well. As again, for fans that are maybe just joining us, no longer do the standings matter. T1 has safely secured the second place in LCK. As that was honestly, it was really neck and neck that it came down to this series, and APK were able to do that for T1. So that will mean that DRX will await the winner of Saturday, right? So it'll be Damwon versus KT. And then the winner of those two will go on to meet DragonX. Following that up with the winner of that series meeting T1, and then Gen.G in the finals.
And it might mean that if KT's Cinderella story is going to continue, they might meet T1 in the semi-final for a telecom war for all the marbles.
You know, I can't even...
How the heck did Hybrid get it? He was carried by Secret this whole time.
You know,
and he did manage to get 3 pentas this split. But still,
first,
I don't know, man.
So this was Secret setting it up and basically doing everything here. Now Hybrid, yeah, he lands the snare onto Deft, but...
Secret's flash hook won them this...
Yeah, that was... Yeah, keep showing me the thresh highlights.
Yeah, keep showing us them thresh highlights, man.
Hold on, keep showing the thresh highlights.
There we go. No, that was all Hybrid though. He got exhausted and walked around the backline before getting a pentakill. Oh man.
You know
okay,
what?
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to give it to the guy that does the damage, you know? As our Secret, he didn't even die in this fight.
Well, I mean, he did end up getting a penta. I will, you know, we can definitely give that.
I don't know, man. I don't know how the heck Hybrid deserved that pentakill after they showed us the highlight reel of Secret. All right, well, Hybrid is going to even things out with Carrier here, make it up to 900 points. I believe also in 4th place is Noggery, as Chovy still has one last chance to get
Hybrid
to 1200.
Also set a record now in League of Legends. First player ever to get 3 pentas in a split.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Yeah, that is really big. In his debut split in LCK on APK.
That's nuts. Well, he might be able to get a 4th. Who knows? Why stop there?
Well,
as 4 out of 9 of the votes went to Hybrid. All of the observers deciding that Hybrid deserved it. As there are a couple of top lane votes here on the Korean cast. I think Ixu did play very, very well, and therefore does deserve at least a couple of votes. But we tried our very best to give it to Secret, but only one of the Korean casters was alongside us. And therefore the extra swing vote goes over to the observers there with their 4 Hybrid votes. I don't know, man.
Someone better check the water. That's all. That's all I gotta say there. I don't know. The Korean casters seem to be having a blast with it as well.
I also love that the observers made a Secret highlight reel and also voted for Hybrid.
Yes.
Like they did both of those things.
That was really good.
Well, I don't know. Secret was absolutely robbed there, but that's absolutely fine. We found out what the Kongdu secret was, and he was always lying in wait as a T1 player. That was his secret. Undercover. Forever. And has now given them that second place.
Well, what this does have in store for us, though, is one more game to bring balance to the Force, Atlas. So
that's true. That is true.
Get your Pog vote ready for the mid lane this game. as we're going to jump into game number 3.
And who's going to have the high ground? Who is going to underestimate someone else's power? And who is going to be Anakin in this particular series? That's what we're yet to find out, as I think that I can sense Chovy putting on his Jedi garb, getting out his blue lightsaber, and warning APK that he does have, in fact, the high ground.
But you want the low ground in League of Legends.
But you want the high ground in that particular scene.
Do you think Chovy's
Otherwise,
a
you lose
Sith or
your
a
legs.
Jedi?
Oh, he's an Aatrox player. That feels pretty Sithy to me.
But he's also a Zir.
Ooh, that's true. And he's an Emperor.
He's a Grey Jedi, actually. He's a...
That's a bit of the Clone Wars type situation. We're going to have a slight delay, guys, getting back into the game. Didn't quite catch what it was for, but hopefully we can confirm that for you.
Ixu is currently using the lavatory.
Once again, Ixu's small bladder. This is the second time that it has come back to bite us.
Yep. So one of the things that I actually got cut off talking about last game was the new season of Pokemon.
That's true, yeah.
Ash apparently he has a Gengar and a Dragonite. And if you don't want spoilers, you can mute really quick. But we're going to be restarting here in just a second. But apparently,
we can get through the
a lot
bands.
of
Keep talking about Pokemon.
A lot of people on some of the Pokemon subreddits and stuff that I've read, they speculate that it might be Ash's final season, and that he might be gunning for Ho-Oh. So that's exciting, because that will mean he'll probably need legendary Pokemon or something if he's going for a Ho-Oh capture.
That's true, and remember, Ho-Oh was in episode 1.
Episode 1, that's his whole
Pokemon.
journey.
Yeah, that is. Coming full circle. That would be the anime ending. So you certainly couldn't blame them for that one. As once again, DRX on the blue side will be banning away the Alawi. I like that. I really hope... do you know what the best part is? Ho-Oh is also a pretty terrible legendary, all things considered. So it really suits Ash to a T. You know, if he's going to catch a legendary, of course it's going to be Ho-Oh. God's sake.
Listen, Ash needs to ask Mewtwo for the favor. He needs to just go and locate Mewtwo.
Yeah, please.
Put in a request.
Mewtwo is good. Especially when you're talking about the first 2 gens. Oh my god. Some of the new legendaries are just so busted.
Yes.
But yeah, out of the first 2 gens, Mewtwo was definitely king, so I'd be completely okay with that. As okay, DRX banning away the Callista second. The Senegan hit the bench here on the side of APK, as the Trundle is going to continue his 100% ban rate in this series. First pick probably still going to be the Aphelios, if APK doesn't ban it here, and it is going to be banned away. So now, DRX, what do you do? What is that first pick option? As Varus is the one that skips out on the bans, and Deft is going to get his hands on one of his favorite champions here.
Well, that is going to be a champion that Deft is going to be extremely comfortable on. It has multiple modes, can go into the lethality Varus as well as the on-hit attack speed Varus. Is yet another option. APK responding in kind with the Misfortune as well as the Jarvan. Maybe they R3 the Rumble for that sort of a combo, but then again, covers champions are, I mean, they are open. And you know, the funny thing is, when the Aurelia and the LeBlanc were banned away last game, we mentioned that he's only played Zoe and Echo. So we had a pretty good idea of what's coming. And it must be nice to exist in a meta where you can have a champion shot glass, apparently, of champion pool depth and still exist. It's a really weird thing to wrap my head around, as Chovy's had enough.
He has. This is the Pog game. As he's thinking about picking away the LeBlanc. Oh, okay, never mind. It is just the Jace, likely a blind pick top laner, but another champion that Chovy has had extreme pop-offs on. We remember he had like a 50 CS lead just organically without actually just shutting out his opponent in the mid lane at like 15 minutes. Like, he does ridiculous things on the mid lane. Jace, it might just be a pickup for himself here, as cover is going to lock away the LeBlanc. No surprises whatsoever. 4-2 is his win rate so far, and this is a champion that does have a pretty high win rate here in the LCK of 60%. As APK, now what is their first ban going to be? Probably looking towards the mid lane potentially to protect cover and his LeBlanc pick.
Yep. So we'll have to see what that ends up meaning for APK. As again, DRX, I mean, that Jace can easily just go top. Chovy is one of the mid Jace players in Korea. He plays it, or used to play it on stream actually a lot.
Yeah.
Last year. And there is still Kassadin, who is looking really good right now in this game. Jarvan not able to contain him. It's an answer to the LeBlanc as well. Physical damage on the top side, physical damage in bottom with the Varus. And now Ornn gets banned away. And the Ornn ban away makes me think that it could be Jace top. As Ornn, historically one of the champions that used to exist to beat Jace. You know what would be so surprising is a Yorick ban by DRX as well.
I mean, Ixu is the type of guy that would play Yorick.
Oh, yeah.
100%. If there's anyone you pick as a Mr. Mori player, it would certainly be Ixu. Has Braum taken away as well. I think that Secret might just go towards yet another Thresh pick. I think it was feeling himself in game number 1, and I wouldn't mind it here, as Varus is pretty stationary, and you do want to be able to reposition your Misfortune at will, and you would be able to with the Lantern. 5 seconds to go now as DRX thinking about what their next ban is going to be. And Malphite.
All right, well, DRX has been watching Whippo.
And maybe having a look at Ixu's solo queue as well.
Yep. As Malphite is banned away. And you know what? I like it so much. I think Malphite is really, really underappreciated in the current meta. And it's because he's bland. He's kind of boring. You have to have fun knowing that your opponents aren't having fun. And that's my favorite kind of fun. So
absolutely perfect.
DRX now with the self counter pick in the mid lane and a mage support coming in to answer the Nautilus. So Keria gonna be down here on this Morgana. And I'm really interested to see what this Varus is actually going to be here, because with Jace, with Morgana, I think he has options to go Comet. And APK, this is a bit of a weird... Ooh, Sion.
Okay. Well,
So
now
Sion...
we can have the Sylas train, which is definitely fun. And Doran might be just playing this Sylas top lane, remember. We don't necessarily know where the Jace and where the Sylas are going to be going. As APK finish their switch-ups, we know exactly where their champions are. The DRX still able to throw a curveball. Chovy might actually like the LeBlanc matchup, though. We know a lot of Sylases do like to be able to pick up the Mimic Distortion. So we'll see who is going where. As 21 seconds ticks down, and it is going to be Doran's Jace on the top side of the map into the Sion, and Chovy will be playing the Sylas here in mid.
Well, this is a interesting team composition by both of the parties. I'm not so sure why Chovy handshook the Sylas into the LeBlanc, but we'll have to see how he manages to perform on it. APK, they have a really well-rounded team composition. Sion coming in to try to answer the Jace. So that does say that DRX was right on their money with banning away the Ornn and the Malphite, thinking that that would be what Ixu would want to do against it, seemingly not wanting to get into a knife fight, maybe against the Jace. But Pioche gonna be on the Sejuani yet again. I want to see what the Varus rune page is going to actually be.
Oh, that's a good point. We might have a bit of a poke style of composition to come out here from DRX with Jace and Varus being able to build up that lethality. An option here, because of course their damage dealers on the side of APK are going to be pretty flimsy in the mid game especially. So let's see whether DRX are going to be able to finish off this series with a victory. This game doesn't necessarily mean too much, but momentum moving into playoffs and into next season, I guess, for APK is going to be important. We'll see whether DRX are going to be able to pull themselves together. Of course, the most important thing about this series is the POG vote. Chovy needs to get it to tie things up with BDD. Otherwise, I guess it's just now it's just going to be known that BDD is the best mid laner of the LCK. You know, that's it's what we're going to have to come to accept.
Atlas, you don't get a vote. I'm gonna rip your profile picture. I'm gonna make a new account, invite it to the Discord. Yeah,
and it's gonna be Atlas spelt with an A. Oh my god, I can see it now. It's like, well, Reddit thinks your name's spelled that way, Max. So obviously everyone else is gonna know.
Exactly.
Oh
That's
man.
Right. This rune choice here, Doran does have Gathering Storm and Absolute Focus, so no Sin going to be present here. Second Wind with Spellbook on the Scion. Don't think that this will be full AD Scion. I do think this will be tank.
Oh yeah, this is Ixu. Absolutely is going to be playing a little bit more of that tanky variety. Is deft with his very green skin choice on the Varus.
Yeah, and
it is going to be lethality. Okay, cool.
Why all of the players seem to have an affinity for these green chromas. And I don't know if it has to do with brushes, because I know personally, you know Green Shamrock Malphite?
Yeah.
Whenever I would play Malphite in the jungle, I always choose Green Shamrock to try to take advantage of other people that have lost sight.
Because you're walking out of a brush and you're just green.
Or people don't notice.
I like to think of that Varus skin as the Astalos skin, one of my favorite monsters from Monster Hunter. He's not in Monster Hunter World, was in Generations Ultimate, and I think his name was Astalos, something like that. Anyway, he was pretty cool, looked real green. As Doran winning out on a trade here early, it's how it's going to be, but if Doran is going to go down the route of building all that lethality, Ixu is going to be a very happy man.
Well, APK here is on the right-hand side with Flawless. He's going to end up clearing his blue. And you can see that Deft and Carry are actually very slow to push in this wave. This means that Jarvan can actually path down towards bottom. You can see Piotrek is clearing through his red-hand side jungle right now. And as it does currently stand, the fourth wave is coming in. Now, will Deft and Kyria try to reliably poke the Nautilus and the MF underneath the turret? You can see Hybrid and Secret, there's really not too much that you can do. Black Shield plus the binding on Morgana, and Nautilus is sort of invalidated at this point in the game.
Well, so is Chovy. Now sitting underneath his turret, has one more charge left of his Corrupting Potion as cover right next to the turret here. And Flawless going to wrap right around the dash out, and like ships in the night, they are just going to pass one another. As Chovy does miss out on a lot of these minions underneath the turret. However, still only down by 4. So not the end of the world, and was still able to pick up the majority of the experience. So a little bit sheepishly, Flawless is going to leave this area. As Doran, with a bit of an old school Jace skin there.
Yeah.
Was the release Mecha Jace. I like it. As another binding going to land bottom lane, and Secret just soaking a lot of damage here up against the Morgana. Certainly a fantastic pick into this Nautilus. As Chovy was thinking about channeling it back as cover. We'll see whether he takes the bait. As Piotrek, does he cancel? The answer is no. And Chovy just going to get chained. Walks out of that one. That's just to deny the back. He probably didn't want to there either, as cover does have this lane in a really good state right now.
Well, cover, I mean, both of them have teleport, so Chovy, he's trying to sustain up. He does have a Biscuit in his pocket. He has a lot of potential to actually just keep this lane alive, because cover running out of fuel in terms of mana, and that's a giant minion wave. So as long as Piotrek comes into mid lane, protects Chovy, everything should be a-okay. Not going to manage to, get the stun onto Flawless. And down in bot lane, Deft and Keria, they are back to lane kingdoming their opponents. And Deft, he has teleport in this lane. Hybrid has cleanse. And that's going to mean that Deft's going to be able to reset here. And
Ixu gets himself the Soul Furnace back again, but Doran just dives on top of him. Flash going to be used there. And that's just a summon spell given away by Ixu, who does have teleport and also does have the Unsealed Spellbook. So I guess using that summon spell not going to be as much of a big deal, but still a big problem here for APK, as Doran is having his way with this lane. Still building lethality, however. As good Black Shield from Carrier gets him out of the way of Secret and Flawless. Not going to be able to find any ganks. Deft is completely out of mana, though. Does have one charge left on his Corrupting Potion. But otherwise, not going to be able to find too much, and we'll see whether he's just going to teleport back to this lane after recovering that mana. Kingslayer to trade there, as Chovy hadn't teleported back to this lane to abduct his way out. And well, a weird name for a dash, right? Abduct.
Yeah,
quite strange.
That is really strange. Yeah, I'm not really so sure about that. By the way, you know what I thought of? Silas's whole lore, it kind of is like Sirius Black from Harry Potter, isn't it?
It does feel a little bit that way.
I just thought about that. Yeah. Not really quite sure why I thought about that when you said abduct, but you know, things happen.
Yeah, I don't know whether was Sirius abducted. I don't know. And are Harry Potter spoilers something that we should be going into here?
Come on, the book is like 20 years old.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. However, people might still get upset. Do you remember when Harry Potter was first coming out? Like, if you spoiled Harry Potter, you were going to hell instantly.
Remember sitting in like my first grade classroom, and the teacher would like read it.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Oh my! And this one girl.
Yeah.
She would spoil it.
Oh, she's read the book already?
Table.
Oh my god. Pyosik looking for Ixu. The ultimate was blocked. The permafrost was there, and first blood goes to Pyosik very easily. Ignite not going to be working out here as Doran is going to kill himself a zombie. Not going to get any gold for it, but he's going to continue pushing. No teleport for Ixu. And this is going to be bad news bears top side of the map.
Well, this is Doran finding himself now with a bit of an advantage. However, it is Scion. And he has a Bramble Vest. Has the Doran Shield with the Ruby Crystal. And Doran will get one of the turret plates. So, just pick that up for himself. Not a super big gold advantage here, though, at 7.5 minutes. Certainly not as big as APK had in the last game. As Deft and Kyria, they're not actually accruing the kind of CS advantage I would have expected, given that Deft had the teleport available. Although, I guess I can't see the lane state. Perhaps that's a freeze in front of their turret. Okay, it is. Never mind. So this is actually much different than I was just thinking. As Hybrid, okay, yeah, I guess it's pretty cool to lose 40% of your life to a Varus Q.
Yeah, the serrated Dirk already being built up. And also, Hybrid not exactly getting the optimal back timing as well. Would have much preferred a BF sword there in order to fight back, but Caulfield's Warhammer going to have to be purchased instead, as Chovy's going to break those chains. And he's holding on in this lane, as when we've been looking at it, it's looked like Cover has had absolute control as Hybrid instant cleanse. But yeah, it's a big oof.
Oh, Kyria looking for blood.
Yeah, finding. Oh my god, if it had any extra range, that was a dead misfortune.
And that was a really close call. You can see Flawless is here, though.
Yeah, exactly right. Kyria does have level 6 available. Soul Shackles are going to lock down Secret. No knock up there onto Kyria as the Make It Rain comes in. Hybrid cannot move further forward because Deft probably will just kill them. Good flash, but Flawless is also going to flash after him. They grab that kill as Deft's charge comes down. Cataclysm, Deft is going to flash out of it as Pyosik is in. Hybrid locks down that kill, but he ain't going anywhere. And DRX will win out on this trade.
And Pyosik does manage to pick up the kill onto the MF. No assist for Deft, but that doesn't matter. That's a massive Sejuani in this game now. So much XP going over to Pyosik as well as Deft in that turnaround. It was a 2-on-3 XP share. Super big. Pyosik level 7 now. 4 kills inside of him on this Sedge. All just donated over. So obviously the jig is up. Hybrid cancels his recall, tries to strut back into this. Kyria not flashing too early, knowing that Flawless can just follow up with Cataclysm. And credit to Flawless as well for holding the Cataclysm as long as he did. Doesn't use it until they turn back around, and you know what, we got action.
Yeah, speaking of the turnaround, Pyosik, oh, he flashes and survives! Oh my god, Flawless is going to fall to Deft's piercing arrow, and they're unable to get anything off the back end. Oh, I'm tilted on behalf of APK right now.
Yeah. Well, this
T1's sister team, of course, APK.
Yep, that's see, nice save. You know, T1 has a trainee team, or they might have several. I'm not sure.
They definitely have quite a few trainees.
Yeah, they have a lot of trainees.
Well, APK has quite a lot of problems underneath their turret on the bottom side of the map, as I believe they just come back from a back timing as well. And all of a sudden, back in exactly the same position as they've been in for the majority of this game, as underneath their turret is not going to be safe. Control ward vision here for DRX, as Flawless going to move in here. He does have a control ward of his own, and Pyosik is in position. Deft has died at this position many times. As Carrier, he finds the Soul Shackles instantly. And Pyosik lying in wait. Secret looking for the re-engage. They did know that Pyosik was here, but they're just going to walk right into him as Flawless has to try and get out. The puddle not going to be enough there, as DRX not going to overstep their bounds, but still, that will take some more turret plates and continue putting on pressure, as Ixu was forced back once again as well. He's down about 20 CS, as there are a couple of turret plates being taken top lane, a couple being taken on the bottom lane. A Dragon and DRX are slaughtering APK once again.
Yeah, we take a look at the replays. The binding lands onto Flawless, and you can see Hybrid was actually a little bit indecisive. Had he been there a little bit earlier, he would have woven in an extra auto on his R, and most certainly, Pyosik would have gone down. Unfortunately, the arrow ends up coming in, brings down, or ends up getting the kill for Deft. And then right here, Pyosik, he waits, and APK knows that Pyosik's there, so I don't know what the hook forward is. But
yeah,
Deft
the re-engage
doesn't
was
angle
weird.
the arrow as best as he could, ends up meaning that Jarvan does escape. But as we come back into live, it is almost a 4,000 gold lead in favor of DRX here. The Varus, absolutely massive. The Sejuani, super big as well. Mountain Dragon was picked up by DRX during all of this. Infernal's coming up next. Ocean would be basically the nuts in this game for DRX if they could end up getting it.
Yep. Oh my god, no. I thought that took it.
Oh,
it didn't. Yeah, Flawless locked that one down, but damn, it was close. It actually really looked like Doran had taken that one there, as Ixu's going to have his back stopped. Deft is going to take down this turret on the next minion wave because there is no one else in the area. And Doran might be able to stop this one as well as they dive on in. Pyosik going to help kill this Scion, as Carrier is even going to be in position. The zombie Scion going to come up, and that might actually be able to get a kill onto Doran. Does flash to stop that one from happening, but Carrier is in trouble. Deft takes down the bottom lane outer turret, and that shock blast was very close to murdering Flawless, as Pyosik jumps on over, but Secret does have a dredge line to get himself out.
And the whole thing about this is Varus in bot lane, he's just going completely untouched. He's getting a lot of free farm, so much gold and XP just going into him as APK, they're losing out on the opposite side of the map. And interestingly enough, cover is getting Chovied right now, as, hold on, not over yet up here.
The bottom lane's just going to die, as Secret's going to at least go golden for a second. But the gold that he used to keep himself in stasis there was actually just money to be given over to DragonX. As now Chovy's trying to win back this trade, as cover was beating him earlier in this game. But now Chovy's actually found his way in. And of course, if the rest of the map is going horribly badly for you, then it's going to be more of a struggle, as Flawless doesn't find the flag and drag. And Chovy's going to try and win out on this trade as well. The Abscond not going to get the stun there onto Flawless, and Conqueror has been procced for both of these players. Teleport comes on in, as Cover's going to get on top of him. Doesn't land the chains though, as Chovy, he's ran out of mana, but has another Kingslayer. And Flawless down to 100. Pyosik will find cover here, and Doran's going to jump over the top. The Permafrost will lock down the LeBlanc as Doran eventually gets that auto attack. This was all masterfully played by player of the game, Chovy. Secret, okay, does find Pyosik there as Doran just dives in, takes down Flawless, as it looks like DRX are just having a good amount of fun at this point in the game. Yeah, exactly right. Secret dredge lines in. No idea why he elected to do that, but he wants to continue fighting in this game. A bullet time, pretty good there, as Carrier looking to try and kill Hybrid. He will be able to do that, as now Ixu chasing after Pyosik. Chains of Corruption comes in, as Def says, kids, it's time to start winning the game. Stop being silly, as he is going to get to work on this turret.
Well, Deft turns his attention now back to mid. This game is over, Atlas. This is almost a 10,000 gold lead at 15 minutes. As the mid-tier 1 turret about to fall, kill score 14-4. And DRX really clapped back here in this game number 2, but it was a little too late. As APK, I mean, they could walk up and flash the T1 emotes again. to really give DRX a little bit of nightmare fuel. As let's take a look at what ends up happening here. So Chovy, player of the game here, with the extended trade, misses the initial heal onto Flawless, baits the teleport out, clicks left and north above, dodging the ethereal chains, knowing that the mana amount that he had was exactly what he needed. Knew that Pyosik would get there at the exact time that he did, and that Doran would then end up laying waste to LeBlanc right to the right of the middle river brush. And he calculated all of this in front of that mid-tier 1 turret.
Yeah, this was actually Chovy playing Doran's champion for him at this, pretty much at this point of time.
He took over the mouse for Pyosik while he was trying to kill the MF, let go of the mouse for Doran as he died, so that's not me.
Yeah.
Bullet time came out, and I mean, this was a solo QPS at this point.
As we've got another fight, because of course that's the type of game that we are in, as Pyosik is an immovable object. Chovy trying to get into this backline will land the abscond onto Hybrid, and now looking for even more. The flash out from Secret, that's just how much damage Def does right now, as that was a great alliteration as well, if I do say so myself, as Kerry is going to go golden, keeps himself alive. Flawless taken down by Doran, as Secret almost taken out by one ability from Def. Shock Blast not going to hit the mark there, as the Dark Binding lands onto Ixu. Piercing Arrow flies a little bit wide, but it looks like they should still be able to take down this inner turret, as Dark Binding also going to land. Oh, Doran bites off maybe a little bit more than he can chew there, as Ixu's going to pick up the kill alongside Secret.
Well, Atlas, I thought the LCS was on Saturday.
No, this is the LPL, dude. 100% the LPL.
Oh man, I don't even know what's going on anymore. There's just non-stop fighting at this point. No one cares what's going on.
Well, I'm just trying to work out how Chovy gets player of the game. That's what I've been considering this entire situation. As this was how it started.
You know that the reason that this all happened is because they were looking at Sylas in the bot lane, and thus their camera was a little bit distorted, and it was because Chovy drew so much pressure. And then right here, Darvin, looking at bot lane, ends up panicking with the R as the screen was on the Sylas, as Chovy told Doran exactly what buttons to press to bring down the kill right there. Now, he stopped talking here, and that's why Doran died, so.
Yeah, he was controlling carrier at that point. He landed that Dark Binding, as you saw. As, okay, Ixu not going to be able to back just yet, but Kerry is going to miss basically everything. That's a targeted ability, though, or a proximity ability, I guess. But Ixu is going to be able to create enough space, is still going to have to use the flash. As we go back to the mid lane, Hybrid just trying to get to some relevance, but he is so far behind. Duskblade almost completed by Def for his 3rd item, and Hybrid still doesn't have components of his 2nd at this stage of the game.
No.
He's down 70 CS.
And we can see APK. I really wish that there was something that I could say that would allow them to come back, but outside of DRX, clumping up inside of the Baron pit, trying to sneak a Baron, getting 5-man bullet time into a Baron capture, and then having APK have all minions ready to raise tier 1 turrets, I don't know how they come back.
There's a slight team fight happening here as Piercing Arrow almost just murders Flawless from half health. Hybrid has been taken down. Def flashes after him with the Piercing Arrow. Is going to be able to lock up the AD carry. 12,000 gold is the lead here for DRX at 19.5 minutes into the game. To say this is over is one of the bigger understatements, as Cover is going to take another Piercing Arrow here as well. Def just having a really great time. Hasn't been touched for quite a while, actually. On this Varus is now Pyosik. He's just going to take himself a little crab. And DRX are just going to continue pushing out the mid lane and keeping up the pressure where they can. Chovy lying in wait, just trying to find that player of the game outplay. And there's a teleport in very deep here by Cover. And Ixu's going to come down as well as Deft. In trouble. Not going to get hit by the chains, but I have a feeling he's still going to die. Almost kills Cover on the back of it, but isn't going to be able to.
All right.
As now Chovy.
Here comes Bruce
now
Wayne.
It's your time. Exactly right.
There he is.
As all right. Flawless Cataclysm now available for Chovy. Finds himself some chains there as the abscond is going to come in. He proto-belts backwards. Cataclysm lands onto Secret. That first kill going to be taken as the double comes in from the Jace. Doran over to the side is trying to steal Chovy's thunder as he doesn't have very much health.
Yeah.
And now, the LeBlanc also going to fall. Is it going to be a pentakill here for the Jace? Doran is very, very low. And he is looking for it. He wants it, as it is going to be Ixu falling down, but Carrier steals away the kill. He can't get player of the game anymore because that is not a play you want to make. Deft teleports in underneath the turret, and the zombie Scion cannot do anything about it. That's the ace. And DragonX, they could take the Baron if they want. They could win the game if they want, but they're just going to do what they feel like.
Yeah, they're going to go over, and it looks like they are posturing for the Baron, but the Jace is up. Or not the Jace, the Jarvan is available, and I really hope that we get another look at that replay so that I can really try to enlighten you on what was really happening.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Atlas, as this is going to be the Baron getting taken. There's no way.
Flawless is in the pit, but not able to lock down the Baron. Chovy is the one that kills him in the end. A player of the game performance, if ever I've seen one, as Cover's going to get stunned up. Chovy grabs another kill. That was all him for this particular play. Is now Hybrid trying to get away from the raid boss that is Chovy. Gets through the base gate. Am I doing my job? Is this what I'm supposed to do?
Yes, make the observers believe.
Okay, good.
Maybe get a live translation feed going for you as well. Maybe some glasses that obstruct their vision.
All right, so take us through exactly what Chovy did in this fight.
Chovy basically managed to miss out on an assist on the Jarvan. He erected a wall so that Doran felt more at home. He then turned the attention to killing the minions. Look at him actually in the back line, taking down the cannon and the minions in order to line
that's
the
what
pockets.
brought, but it also brought the minion wave in here so that Carrier could miss that cue.
Yes, and then pay attention to the teleport that Chovy comes in with, and look at who he kills in this team fight. The zombie Scion.
The
hero if I've ever seen one.
Amazing.
So if you're wondering what happened to Rick Grimes,
okay, that's a very dead LeBlanc, as now DRX are just piling in around APK. Carrier with the Soul Shackle should be able to lock everyone up. Bullet time, pretty good, but Hybrid does have to stop it because of Piercing Arrow. I mean, the best CC is death, and this particular Piercing Arrow is going to stun for a very, very long time. In fact, 35 seconds at this point in the game, as Ixu going to go down as well. Deft just trying to get some autos there onto the zombie Scion. As, Ixu is trying to channel his back, but the best back at this stage is going to be just death. 30 seconds on most people. Oh no, Flawless, he's pretty underleveled at this stage, so 5 seconds until he's going to be available. But he might just be watching as his Nexus falls down.
Well, I do believe, wow, what a knockup by Chovy.
This is 33-6, by the way. At 23.5 minutes, 33! It's a 20,000 gold lead.
Is this the largest gold lead that we've ever seen in LCK?
Certainly at this time of the game, 100%. Gold lead, oh my god. Hybrid, I think, was there a moment ago. Chovy, player of the game, will find the back line. Flawless gets himself out. It's a double kill for Deft. It looks like Chovy has taken control of his 80 carries computer this particular point in time, as Ixu is on the fountain. And DRX, the classic BM play, as they are now standing
here.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Cover's going to go down very low, dives in, and he's able to take down Carrier. As, Deft is going to also fall, as they might need to get to work on the Nexus here. And of course, Chovy is going to be the one that takes that one down. Also kills Cover there, as now he's looking to kite this one through. Goes Golden, will reset that attack timer and takes down the Nexus. And it was touch and go. If he hadn't have done that, maybe it would have been the ace back. And APK won the game. Absolutely not, guys. I'm being sarcastic. DRX slaughtering them as they get into game number 3. They are in 3rd place now, so APK did their job for T1. But DRX still proving that they are a tough team to go up against if they are having their day.
And, you know, I'm really, like, so
are you seriously still going to vote for Chovy?
There's no way you and I can swing the votes, and I think it's so funny. So, you know what? Let the Korean desk make fun of us. It's totally fine.
Aww.
They need to get in on the memes. That's what they're missing.
I feel like if it's not, like, if I'm not going to meme it, it's probably Doran? Or Pyoshik?
No, Pyoshik. Well,
yeah, probably Pyoshik.
Pyoshik fell on top of a lot of kills, but then he never really let any opportunities get away from him.
Yeah. He snowballed very, very well. I think one of us has to... I think you do have to still...
I'll take the meme
Stick to your guns.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns with your meme vote. And Chovy did kill the Nexus. And so what is the most important structure to take down? Nexus. How many Nexus kills did the rest of DRX get? 0. How many did Chovy get? He got 1.
And
that makes him the best.
I don't mind actually. Well, I don't know, because there's no way that Chovy will get the player of the game, I assume, no matter what. So the other standings don't affect anything, right? There's no like runner-up MVP vote, I don't believe.
I think it's between Doran and Pyoshik this game.
Yes.
And I honestly don't mind who gets it. I think the DRX just played much better that time around, and it's good to see that they were able to right the ship after what could have been a really tilty loss, to be honest. In game number 2. It could have really fallen apart there, but instead of going against each other, they rallied and they took down APK. And this is some of the feedback that we've had for DRX, is it looks like they get really down on themselves and then fail to perform to the level that we know that they're capable of. Because these players are all just super good. Mechanically, and, you know, in a macro sense, they are smart players as well, a lot of them, especially, you know, the veterans like Deft, like Chovy. So, good to see them playing at the form that we know they're capable of, as this is the player of the game play from Chovy here, setting everything up for DRX.
Well, it does seem like no matter what, this game didn't have any bearing on the results and in terms of the standings, but APK, they really fell behind early on, and there was no bringing it back. I mean, this team fight was all solo queue at this
100%.
point. Everything was just, they wanted to smack each other with their abilities, and there really wasn't much to it. I mean, Atlas, it was a 20,000 gold lead at 23 minutes. We've never seen anything like that, I don't believe, in the LCK.
With so many kills as well. It was just insane.
The biggest gold lead I believe that I saw before this one was actually done by DragonX. I could be wrong here, so maybe someone from stats could figure it out, but I think it was DragonX versus Afrika, and that was the Anivia game. I think that was a 15,000 deficit at 20
Might
minutes.
have been. And I think there might be someone who does some stats that's looking on as well. This is looking like a Doran highlight reel, by the way. This stage of the game, we're going to see in this particular team fight, it's the double kill turned into a triple with that incredible shock blast behind the wall after Carrier did manage to land a pretty nice dark binding. But Pyoshik as well, making sure that the back line is completely safe. Gets underneath the turret with his stone plate. That binding is the one I was talking about as the shock blast comes in for the triple. As Doran did have one hell of a game.
Yeah, I
After
think
turning around what was an awful Aatrox game in game 2.
Yeah.
And this guy's a guy that's known to tilt.
And honestly, I think that all of the DRX members really did a pretty good job at contributing to this win, minus the Silas.
That's because he was too busy controlling everybody else's champion, dude.
Notice I didn't say Jovi.
Yeah.
He was busy controlling all the other PCs.
Yeah. This is actually Warcraft 3. It's an RTS that we're playing right now. It's Chovy controlling 5 characters. And that's why he deserves player of the game.
맞잖아.
너 오늘 나랑 듀오.
미안.
Today you duo with me.
어디야?
야 싸워.
Yeah, tower. Or fight? Maybe it's tower.
아, 나 한 번 더 달리고 싶은데.
아 가자. 타워봐.
So let's go.
이거 어떡할래?
사이온인데? 가자.
아 기다려봐. 나 붙여.
wait.
나 풀.
르블랑을 잡고 르블랑 잡자. 르블랑.
아니,
오케이,
미니언
오케이.
맞고 있잖아.
Let's get
미니언
the
맞고
launch, let's
있잖아.
get the
간다. 3, 2, 1. 교이르.
3, 2, 1.
타워 그냥.
야 끝내.
And.
성공다.
야.
넥서스
눈물겨운
26만
승리.
좋대는.
야 넥서스 20년 남는다.
아, 끝냈어, 임마.
It's already over.
아.
아쉽다.
You can see not super excited.
It's going to be 26
DRX.
HP. Apparently, that's what G-Sun said that they said. I did not.
Ah,
And
after
obviously
the auto
referring
attack,
to-
maybe?
yeah.
That was what they were thinking? Interesting.
Oh, no. The reference
no,
to the Dom one.
it's going to be 26 HP like Dom. Oh, man, I can't believe we didn't realize that. That's actually brilliant. Imagine if they lost. Oh, man, that would be a tilter. That would last over until the playoffs as well. That being said, that particular game didn't mean so much. APK did their job. You can see 2-1 victory for DRX. They will now lock down 3rd place, and they will face either Dam1 Gaming or KT.
The post-game breakdown, I mean, you look at Silas's damage, and you're
It's
starting
more than
to,
LeBlanc.
I have no idea what it's looking like. Nemesis is in the mid lane, the Fnatic support, because it's looking like a support's damage.
He was actually really impressive on the support Yasuo recently, wasn't he? Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, he's wind walls, able to protect the rest of his team. Really cool stuff. I love that. Sorry, Nemesis. I love you, don't worry.
He's seething. I have a feeling that we're gonna find out about the player of the game here.
And it's Carrier, and he makes it to 1,000 points, equalizing with aiming. And his Morgana was fantastic. This is actually another player of the game that he managed to get. Piloting the Morgana, him and Lehens certainly are the Morgana players. Also 2 of the best supports that we have in the LCK at the moment. 3-2 and 24. It's not that close to perfect kill participation as well, guys, because I think there were like 34 kills for DragonX at the end of the game.
Yeah, this was an unholy amount of kills. And so this had more kills in this one game than maybe LCK had. Half of round 2.
We've doubled the kills of the LCK with this one game. Bloodiest season of LCK ever, based solely on this game existing. Also, the 60-minute game that APK was in also really heavily contributing, as kills per game certainly something that APK pretty good at so far. They just lend themselves to having scrappy matches. And it was certainly a fun one, man. This whole series was really entertaining.
Yeah, it was. The last game is truly a send-off for Spring 2020, as Kyria gets to the 1,000 point standing. So, 2 of the DragonX members in the top 5 here for the player of the game standings. BDD stands atop at 1,200 points. And honestly, I mean, he really did earn it. He had phenomenal performance on Gen G in this Spring 2020. Atlas, I don't know. I can't believe you.
Yeah, no, we really could have given it to Chovy there. We should have both voted for Chovy.
Someone on the deck, they're probably thinking I'm such a donk.
Yeah, they're like, what the heck is this idiotic Chovy vote? But at least you stood tall with what you wanted to achieve, as it is going to be Carrier 100% of the votes, so he's going to be part of this POG interview. So we'll send it over to G-Sun for the translation.
외롭고 지금
I'm
상황이 좀
lonely here,
쓸쓸합니다.
and we're in a very sad situation. Yeah, I mean, well, with that game 2 loss, you guys are now 3rd place. I guess the team players aren't really satisfied with the result.
일단 2대0으로 이겨야
Well,
2등이었는데
we needed to win to
그러지 못해서
get the 2nd place,
좀
but we could not
그러지
make it
못했고,
happen.
그리고 경기력도 엄청
And our performance was
엉망진창이어서
really,
많이 부끄럽고
like,
좀 안
really
좋습니다.
off. So I'm really embarrassed of ourselves and feels really bad. It feels like he's about to cry. So, I mean, but still, you guys are the winner of the series, so let's go back to game. Game number 1, they locked in Twitch. How'd the players react to that?
그냥 서폿 뭐 해야 될지만
champion.
생각했어요.
Well, we just thought which champion will be the best champion into Twitch. You guys weren't really surprised?
네.
No. So, you had a lot of clutch engaged on that Alistar. Was that like team's call, or did they practice it often? Or was that your own decision?
일단 상대 팀이
Well,
트위치만 막으면 될 것 같아서 일단
We
저는
all I had to
트위치만
do was
막을
to block
생각으로
Twitch,
했던 것 같아요.
so I had my eyes on him.
아주 굉장히 잘 풀렸던 것 같은데. 자, 이번 POG가 되면서 단독 POG가 되면서 1000점이
So with this solo POG series, you stacked up 1,000 POG points, and you are so
네,
close to
들어봤습니다.
like
네, 그
being
들어간 게
nominated
본인의
for the
가능성이
best
굉장히
young
높아졌어요.
player awards in LCK.
오, 네. 잘
Yeah,
받으면 좋긴 합니다.
It would be really nice if I can win it.
너무 좋습니다.
네, 좋죠.
Super
사실
excited.
많은 그 경쟁자들이 있긴
I mean,
있었는데 실제적으로 좀
there are a lot of
받는 것이 맞는 것이
young
아니냐라는
players
얘기가
competing for the
굉장히
awards, but a lot of
올라오거든요.
fans are
확실히 좀
saying
난리
that
납니까?
you
어떻습니까?
are the one deserving that award.
일단 신인상
Well, the young player award,
일단 영플레이어의 상이 어릴 때만 받을
about
수
that
있는
award,
거니까
you have to be
어릴 때부터
under a
받는
certain
거니까
age.
지금
You have to
받으면
be
엄청 좋을 것
in
같습니다.
that range, so it will be really nice if I can win
그런 얘기가 있었는데
that award.
사실 이런 말을 그 드려야 될지 모르겠는데 하도 이게 자주
And
나와가지고
well,
인터뷰할 때마다
whenever you do an interview, the Korean chat always say you look like a Korean actor, 서강준.
죄송합니다.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's
전
nothing to
진짜-
sorry about.
그
I mean-
배우님이랑 비교되는 게 좀 말이
I
안
mean,
된다고
it doesn't really
생각합니다.
make sense that people like compare me and the actor because
네,
it's
어쨌든
like.
그렇게 생각합니다.
Yeah.
아니 근데 뭐 각각의 다른 매력이 있는
I mean, you
비슷한
two
매력이
both
있다,
have
뭐 이런
different
얘기가
like
좀
charming
있어가지고
points, but
이런 얘기가 나오고 있는데 이런 얘기를
some people
평소에는 못
actually
들어봤나요,
find you
혹시?
two really alike. You look really alike.
아까 APK 분들이 시작하기
Well,
전에
before
1경기
going into
끝나고 나서
game,
시크릿
or maybe
선수가
after game number one,
서강준 왜 이렇게
Secret
잘하냐고 하더라고요.
actually
어,
chats
네.
like, 서강준,
그래서
why
좀
are you so
재밌었어요.
good? So it was really fun.
본인은 평소에 누구 들어요 혹시 닮았던 사람?
저 닮았다는
And-
사람이요?
네.
Is there any other
일단 작년에
well,
라스칼
famous celebrity
선수가
that you look
맨날
alike?
백종원 선생님 닮았다고 하고
Well, Rascal actually last year always said I look like Jongwon Baek,
최근에는
a very famous
라스칼
chef in
선수가
Korea.
또
But
그
not
어떤
long
유튜브
ago,
영상 주면서
Rascal
저 닮았다고
also
하더라고요.
like sent me a
네.
link on YouTube,
너무
still
통일성이
claiming
너무
that I
없어가지고
look
좀
like
미안해요. 네.
the chef in Korea.
아, 네. 유미 닮았다는 얘기는 어떻게 생각하세요?
But Cloud Templar thinks he looks like Yumi.
는 한 번도 안 들어봤습니다. 감사합니다.
Really? I never heard of that, but thank you.
그만큼 이제 매력이 많다. 뭐 이런 얘기를 좀 드리고 싶었는데 경기 끝나고 나서 이제
After the game,
KT를 띄우는 장면들이 있더라고요.
we saw you guys using the
네.
KT
그건 어떤
emotes.
의미였어요?
What was that about?
일단 KT 아이콘이 예쁘고
Well, KT, their icon looks really pretty.
제가 18년도 KT를
And
좋아했어서
I really
그
like
굉장히
2018 KT
뛰어났던 것
roaster,
같아요. 승리
so I just
되게.
had it one of my emote list.
네.
그러면 이번 시즌 전체 정리해서
So wrapping up
본인
this
예상
regular
순위랑
split,
어느 정도 차이가 있는 것 같아요?
how is it similar to
음,
your expectation before going into the
일단
split in
1라운드 처음
terms of
시작할
standings?
때는 저 5등만
Well, when we were
노리했는데
starting the first round,
2라운드
we
시작할 때는
were
최소
our
3위만
goal
노렸는데
was
일단 3위에
fifth
정착해서
place,
다행이라고
and
생각합니다.
then going into the second round, we were aiming for the third place. So it's glad we made it. So I guess well, today's result might not be the ideal result you guys have been wanting for. However, you guys are keep stepping up.
일단 2세트 끝나고 다
So
엄청
after game
분위기
number
안
2,
좋았는데
we were really
3세트
depressed and we were in a really
끝나고
bad atmosphere.
예,
but
감독님이 오히려 괜찮다고
After game 3, actually CB Max told us
아래서부터
it's
다
rather even better because we're starting
때리면서
from
올라가자고 그랬었어요.
the lower bracket. We can just beat up everyone.
지금 상당히 높은 지역에서 출발하는
I mean, you guys are not even starting at the lower bracket. You guys are the third seed. So you guys have a really a high potential and a lot of opportunity going into the playoffs.
굉장히 좀 기대를 하고 계시거든요. 그래서 지금 와일드카드에
So
KT와 이제 담원이
wild card
기다리고
series
있단
will be
말이죠.
KT versus
KT
Tamon
선수가
Gaming.
예상할 때는 누가 올라올
So
것
who do you
같아요?
think will make it to the next round?
일단 두 팀 다 너무 잘하는
Well,
팀이라서
both teams are really
상대하면 재밌을 것
strong.
같긴 한데
So it will be really
두
an
팀
exciting
하면은
game to play against either teams.
KT가 이기지
But I think
않을까요?
KT
이길 것
will
같습니다.
win.
아,
Yeah, I think KT will win.
KT가 우세일 것 같습니다.
I think KT is favoring in that matchup.
이게 워딩이
야, 우세 이 단어는 이게 거의 팽팽한데 5.1대 4.9.
I guess like it's gonna be a really close matchup, but KT will be in a bit of a slight lead versus Tamon Gaming.
정말 좋은 답변 감사히
평소에
말씀드리겠습니다.
책을 좀 즐겨 읽으시나요, 캐리아 선수?
Carrier, do you read books often? In your downtime?
아니요.
아니에요.
No.
여기
네.
단어 선택이나 그런 게 너무 나이대랑 맞지 않아서
I mean,
좋은
like-
의미로요.
아니 우세 단어 너무 좋아서 그랬어요.
Yeah,
우세
your
단어, 우세
like
단어 너무
expression and
좋아서.
wording
일단
in
뭐
the
캐리어 선수
interview was
개인적인,
really
부분도 있겠습니다만 DRX 팬
sophisticated, so I
지금
want to
캐리어
just ask you
선수를
about it.
계속해서 응원하고 계시고 심지어 DRX
And
팬이
there
아닌
are a
분들도
lot of
캐리어에
fans
대해서는
supporting
굉장히 좀 인정을 하고
DRX
있는 분들이
and
많이
Carrier,
늘어나고
especially
있거든요.
some of non-DRX fans are also looking forward to seeing more from you.
일단 신인데 이렇게
Well, I'm a
좋은
rookie player,
경기력으로 시즌 마무리할 수
But
있었던
I'm happy that
거는
I was able to close
팬분들의
out
응원
the
덕분인 것
split
같습니다.
with such a great results. I want to share this credit to my fans.
직한 얘기 좀 감사합니다.
캐리어.
네, 캐리어 선수 앞으로도 그 좋은 경기 부탁드리겠고요.
So-
이제 올라가면 이제 바지 이제 플레이오프
You guys are
1라운드부터 이제 시작을 한 거잖아요.
starting,
1라운드에서
네.
어떤 상대를 만나더라도
At the
캐리어 선수 오늘
playoff
보여준 것처럼
first
멋진
round,
경기 기대하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
so we'll be looking forward to your
네, 고맙습니다.
performance in the series, and
네.
this will be the end of the interview with
Carrier
Carrier
선수를
from
만나봤습니다.
DragonX, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun, as usual, for your translation of that POG interview. A little bit of a sad one there with Carrier, who was looking very down after what seemed like such a jovial game in game number 3. I thought that their spirits seemed higher in that particular game, but still a little bit hard on themselves. But I love the feedback that CV Max gave them, saying that they'll be able to beat everyone up throughout the gauntlet. And that is something that he's borne witness to, actually. Every single time Griffin have won the regular season, they haven't been able to take down the team that's found them at the top of those standings. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether CV Max is going to be able to push his team to be able to get that momentum and then take down that first spot.
Yeah, that's going to be ultimately the question. As, I mean, DRX, they are one of the top teams in the league. I think that they are probably going to be pretty close between the winner. I'm assuming KT wins versus Dom1. Then
Yeah, me too.
DragonX versus KT, that gets really dicey because aiming is really good in the bot lane, and when Def doesn't show up with Carrier in the bot lane, things get really out of control.
Not to mention Tucson being really good, right? And
Yeah.
would be able to stand up against Carrier and all of his rookie powers as we have a look at the playoffs. This is the draw. KT versus Dom1. Winner of that plays DRX. Winner of that plays T1. And the winner of that plays Gen G. As the final will be at LOL Park as well, guys. We'll finally make our way to an actual live event. I believe you and Brendan Valdez will be there, LS. I will be cheering along from the sidelines. Of course, guys, I didn't vote for Chovy in the first game, and therefore I was removed from the final. I'll be there for the quarters and semis, though. Playoffs round 1 and round 2. But yeah, I've been banned from the actual final, and I'll have to learn my player of the games to try and get the summer final under my belt.
Well, we shall see what does end up happening in the playoffs here and who will end up facing Gen G in the finals. Now, what a Cinderella story it would be for KT to go through. This is like their Elite Four. You want to do a Pokemon reference. They're red like
Well,
Ash
yeah.
Ketchum.
Well, we'll see whether they can do it. But guys, that will do it for the regular season. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the start of the playoffs on Saturday.